guys, this is Chaz with Go Guitar Live, and today I'm going to just show you how to use a Dorian mode just to kind of spice up your minor playing. There's so many tricks that you could do with this, and it's a lot of fun, especially if you're sort of stuck playing those blues runs that you're used to. This might help a little bit to kind of break out of that pattern. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so if you're used to playing a blues kind of minor pentatonic or diatonic, that's fine. You know, they're both pretty similar. You probably played that about 1,000,000 times. So we're going to try and break out of that. Or actually, you know, not necessarily break out of it, but give you something to add on to it that's similar to it. The Dorian scale right here is very similar to it. So we're going to just go ahead and try right here. We're going to go back, and this is an A minor. You see in my videos, you know I like to play an A. Kind of middle of the fretboard. You can do a lot around the fretboard with A, so I tend to stick with it. So first thing, it's an A minor. It's actually more of an A minor 7, but that's okay. We're going to go back here to start with that Dorian scale. You can need to know this, and then I can show you some tricks on how to use it. Especially it works great with a minor sound. And you can use it over a blues as well. It just doesn't seem to work as well with a major. I guess if you really tried, you can make it work. But let's stick to minor and just a blues with the Dorian scale. So this shape, there's tons of places to play it up and down the neck, but I'm going to show you one that's very similar to the blues scale that you know, or the minor scale that you know. So the only thing different is this one's going to start back here at 3 on the top string in your E string. We're really not going to play too much on the top 2 strings, but they're the exact same thing. 3, 5, 7, and then on the A string, 3, 5, 7 as well. So 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Okay, so if you've got that, let's move on. This is you can still stick to this little box here that you would normally play. How you would finish that off, but we're going to add a couple extra notes in there. So we're going to start right here, same thing. That's what we're going to add. We're going to go 4, and this is on the D string, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Then the next one is 5, and this is on, so on the D and G string is 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. Okay, now it's going to kind of almost like flip upside down, or backwards, and it's going to go on the B string and E string, it's going to go 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. Okay, so if we have 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 5, 7, 8, 5, 7, 8. Okay, and then of course don't forget, so this is A Dorian. It's actually, if you think about Dorians, it's almost, their scale is essentially a whole step, whatever the major of the whole step behind that. So if we're playing A minor, a whole step behind A would be G, and so really you're just playing a G scale. But we're going to add a couple different places, but over that A minor it sounds really good. So they call it A Dorian. Okay, so go back and go over that as many times as you need to learn that scale. And now just to go over some of the soloing tricks with it, we're going to start, if you notice we have a lot of these half step, and then right there. So one of the first ones, tricks I like to do is half-step bends. So for instance, from 7 to 8 on both the E and the B string, you can do these half-step. You want to bend up to them. And then you can do the same thing from 4 to 5. Or sorry. You can always gauge yourself and just slide up and see if you're actually bending up to that. So if I play this, I'll show you an example. A little vibrato. Kind of has, and what I'm doing is bending up and getting vibrato afterwards. Now that's a hard technique to kind of master. I know I've got a lot of guys who really just can't do that, but some people it just comes naturally. So bend it up and a little vibrato. And if you do a rake, this is raking. Dead strings, and then you have the one live string that you're playing. So anyway, so you could use that over and if you have a whammy bar, you could actually do half-step pull-ups. If you pull that whammy bar, you're almost like doing the same thing, or kind of a Jeff Beck style. Now, what I've shown you so far is just these half-step bends right there. Now, don't be afraid just to play with that scale during a minor, you know. And really, more of that is just technique than it is actually playing. I'm not really playing a whole lot of notes, but a lot of pull-offs and hammer. Now another one I like to do that I think is kind of fun is you have these all these like half-step boxes, like they're right now. Sorry. And over the music. Or you can spice it up. Santana-esque. So you have a bunch of options there. And you can always bend, especially like the two boxes that are going to go up half step. Probably have to bend the one on the first two strings up. So you have these two strings, the first two strings. And since they do the same shape all the way down, you can do that. Same thing with the third and fourth strings. I'm just kind of working those double strings. And then, so just to recap, we had what I just showed you, were the double string. And you can do slides between them. You can just do double stops. You can do alternating string. These are just ideas to use over while you solo. So you have that, and then you have the bending. Half step bends. And it sounds good over a minor jam or an A minor jam. Really all I was playing is A minor 7 and then a D7. You could go like this if you wanted, A minor 7. And I have my looper going and just doing that. So. And I'll just play us out.